Hi, Andrew.
Okay, good. Yes,
How you doing
I'm
today?
doing good.
As you know, I'm doing some research for Professor Ross,
Yes.
and the assignment is to find out what's the most interesting place you've been.
Okay. Uh, that would be our cruise to Bermuda. And,
What's so interesting about it?
well, it was the first trip I took with, with one who's now my wife.
Mm-hmm.
And we had been wrapping things up in our old house, getting ready to move to our new one. And she had said to me, let's take a trip. Let's get away. And people from work are like, oh, if you're going to take a vacation, you have to take a cruise. You have to take a cruise. Never been on one.
Mm-hmm.
So some people say, oh, you got to go on Carnival, and other people say, no, you should go Royal Caribbean. So I found a deal on Norwegian where you go to Bermuda and you get a cruise to Bahamas for free.
Mm-hmm.
So we took that. It was out of New York. It was a 7-day trip, and we boarded in New York, and we got on the ship very fast. The line was out the door,
Mm-hmm.
and we was oh, we're gonna be here forever. And they
Right.
boarded the whole ship inside of a half hour, which was really something. And they they got us up to our cabin, went up to get a drink, and we were lining the rails to leave the city of New York, and this helicopter kept circling the ship. It was a police helicopter, and they were filming us. Even the cruise director was like, "What is this? Why are they here?"
Mm-hmm.
And turns out these were guys who worked for my brother, who's an inspector with the NYPD,
Right.
and they were kind of kissing up to him a little bit. They escorted us to the Verrazano Narrows Bridge, and
Uh-huh.
I don't I don't know if they got
So you
anything
got
out of
on
it,
the helicopter?
but yeah, and the helicopter followed us out of the port of New York, which was kind of cool. And just it was a lot to do on the ship. There was shows, and there was comedy, and there was music, and there was dancing. So we had something to do every night, which was nice. Different restaurant every night, which was
And
nice.
how long was it?
The only problem was this one restaurant called the Ocean Blue, Jeffrey Zakarian's Ocean Blue, celebrity chef. Well, the
Mm-hmm.
food was horrible,
Yeah.
had no flavor whatsoever. And what happened was, my wife said, "How do you mess up a Delmonico steak?"
Mm-hmm.
But it was still all right. I mean, like I said, you can eat 14 times a day if you want on a cruise ship, but we paid an extra $80 to eat here. So like
Uh-huh.
now what, you know?
Yeah.
So they gave us they comped us with a meal at one of the other clubs on board, which was fine, and they gave us a free bottle of champagne, and they
Right.
sent snacks to the rooms. All right, big deal. But
And
we had a good time, and we got to Bermuda.
how long was the trip?
It was 2 days out, 3 days in Bermuda, and 2 days back. Total 7 days.
Okay.
And we went to the beach. We went to all the historic sites in Bermuda. Went
Mm-hmm.
to the Capitol. Went to the government house. Had to hit the post office, of course,
In Bermuda?
in Bermuda,
Mm-hmm.
because I have kids at home that I have to bring back stamps and coins for. So
Mm-hmm.
we took care of all that at the post office. And the thing that struck me about Bermuda is it's like a little slice of England, but with better weather, and
Okay.
everybody wears shorts. So,
Yeah.
and but the
Is it hot over there?
it's not overly hot. I mean, it's about the same latitude as Carolina, South Carolina, so it's
Mm-hmm.
not, you
And
know,
you mean?
it's not. No, the ocean blows away all the humidity, so
Right.
it's really very comfortable. And the beaches were beautiful, and the people were very friendly. I would go back in a heartbeat.
Mm-hmm.
The water was so blue, and you could see for miles. And you could see, even when you were in deep water, you could see all the way to the bottom. It was
Mm-hmm.
just incredibly beautiful. And I remember my wife scored a big victory. We got on a public bus. We tipped the driver $10, and we got the nickel tour of the whole island. The people
Oh,
were
okay. You
paying
were
50 bucks.
sightseeing.
Yeah,
Okay.
went sightseeing. Like people were paying $50 a head. So it's just like victory.
So
So
you got a deal from the bus driver, but
yeah,
that's like public bus driver, not the specific toll.
yeah. He was just he just worked for the transit
General.
authority,
Yeah. Okay.
but he knew where everything was, and he lives
Right.
there. So we had a lot of fun with that. We ate lunch on shore every day, which was so we tried the local restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and we ate at this one Jamaican place, and my wife fetched how they didn't really make real Jamaican food. It's not
Right.
Jamaican, you would know.
Yeah.
And but we just absolutely beautiful. The sand. We went to the pink sand beaches at Horseshoe Bay. It's all coral sand, so it's all pink. It's really something. Beautiful beach. And we went there early in the day when it was empty. And when people began to show up, we left. So,
And I know previously you told me you travel a lot.
yeah,
So what makes this place so much more interesting than the other
it
places?
changed the way I look at travel
How
because
so?
this wasn't a business trip.
Hmm.
It wasn't a family vacation with the kids and everything. It was just us, and we just did what looked interesting. I mean, we didn't have an itinerary, we didn't have a plan. So whatever looked interesting that day, whatever looked interesting that night, and it was just a very laid back way to travel. And I came back feeling recharged, had a lot of fun, and we've been cruising ever since. We've taken at least one cruise every year ever since. And actually, after finals, we're taking another one. We're going to Mexico, and with the same cruise line and everything else. I mean, so it really just kind of hooked me on this way of vacationing. And I've gotten to see a fair amount of North America as an adult, which makes it very different from when I was a kid. My father would get transferred to this between this Navy base and that Navy base, and going from Norfolk, Virginia to Polk, Louisiana to Osaka, Japan to Plymouth, the Naval Air Station. This is you know this is not like that. You're not in a schlep. You're not on somebody else's schedule. You're not worrying what does everybody else want to do. It's just
It was
whatever.
all about
It was
you.
us and just us and whatever looked good. And
Is is that
my wife's the most agreeable traveling companion in creation. Nothing bothers her. She's able to take everything in stride, and she gets mad at me if I schlep too much,
hmm
which was a new experience for me at the time. When I traveled with my ex, I was always like the beast of burden. I had everybody's luggage, and I was schlepping things. I didn't have to do that this time.
And previously you said you went on the bus and sightseeing. Is there
Yes.
anything that new that you learned that
Yeah, they have the tallest lighthouse in the Western Hemisphere. It's got all these stairs, and there's actually a ruined church. It's called the Church of 100 Steps
hmm
because you have to go down to it. It's down a hill. There's 100 steps. You go down to the church, and they're actually in the process of restoring it. That was kind of interesting. We went to the government house in Bermuda. The monument to Queen Victoria was there. We went to a pirate museum.
Pirate museum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was pretty
That was
cool.
interesting.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
pretty cool. My son, when he was a kid, was big into pirates, so
hmm
it was kind of bittersweet. But we went to see that, and and it was really it was the first trip of the second chapter of my life,
hmm
and and if you ask me about trying, I always go back to that trip. That sticks in my mind.
Did anything surprise you while you were there?
How quick they boarded the ship, how few problems we had, how easy it was. I mean, Bermuda's easy because they use American dollars there as their
Okay.
main form of exchange. You don't have to change any money.
hmm
We did go to the post office. We got stamps. We got some Bermuda coins. But everything is done either in British pounds or Bermuda pounds, which are the same thing,
hmm
or U.S. dollars. They don't really care. And that's something you can appreciate. They just want to make money. I have no problem with that. But
So,
it's not that far away. It's not like it's a big culture shock. It's the same products.
uh
It's the same everything, except they drive on the left side of the road.
hmm
So when we rented motor scooters to get around, that took a little getting used to
yeah.
stay on the right side of the road. But fortunately, my wife grew up in Jamaica where they also drive on the left side, so that
Yeah.
she knows how to do that.
Have you been to Jamaica?
Not yet. That's
Uh-huh.
actually on the bucket list.
Mm.
But so if you ask me in 2 years, maybe I'll have a different answer to this
Okay.
question. But this was what was nice about this was, like I said, it just changed everything about the way I looked at traveling, and it opened a whole new world for me. So
And he encouraged you to travel more.
absolutely,
Mm.
I mean, we've been traveling ever since. We take 2 trips a year. One is we do by car, and one we do by boat.
The car you go in the United States.
Yeah, I actually took her sightseeing in her hometown of Boston. We've been to Niagara Falls. We've been to Montreal.
Mhm.
We've been to New York City. So things like we took a road trip to South Carolina.
Would you go back?
Absolutely,
Yeah. Okay.
it's definitely on the list.
Well, Andrew, thank you. You gave me a lot of information. You were very detail oriented. That's a lot. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you,
And good luck in your
and same to
essay. Yes.
and same to you. I hope you get an A.
Thank you.